And so I say to the coaches out there, it's win-win. And how is it a win-win when the column says L and you got less points?
Yeah, yeah.
So my thing is, what was the reason that we got less points than the other team? And I don't focus that we lost the game. I understand, trust me. But for the players, I don't want them focused on the loss. How did we win today?
You guys, this is Parchelle. This is the Call to Coach, where I dive into the why behind some amazing coaches that I've been able to interact with and connect with recently. And the thing is, I get excited when I'm around coaches, you guys. So I want to share that excitement with you and bring to you guys the story of some amazing people. So I'm joined with Miss Freda Doxey.
Yes.
She is not only a transformational life coach, but she is also a women's basketball coach. So you guys who know me, I used to play, and just to be around the presence of really great, amazing, talented people is always an honor. So thank you, Freda, for hanging out with me.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit, because I know that you're in both roles, you know, having with sports, but also in transformation life coaching. So, but how did you get into coaching yourself?
All right, so the journey started as a basketball player in Mississippi when I was in middle school.
Okay.
And didn't want to do it. But my mom thought it was a good idea, and I'm glad she, forced me to do it because from there I went to play in high school. I started in Mississippi middle school, but then I went to high school in Atlanta, Georgia. Once again, incredible, successful coach. And then from there, she was connected with C. Vivian Stringer, she's a Hall of Famer, and went to play for Cheney University. So I had these coaches in my life that directed me and thought that basketball was a platform for me to learn and to grow, and it really was. It wasn't in my plans to be a coach, but my coach at Cheney, which is Vivian Stringer, said, "You need to coach." And I'm like, okay, we trust our coaches.
Yes.
And the good thing about that was my first assignment was at the University of Missouri in Columbia. So I got a graduate degree, and I was a graduate assistant coach. And here's the thing, I was the first black coach in that program.
Wow.
So there was some lessons learned from that as well. But at that time, the coach was Joanne Rutherford. Once again, another incredible influence in my life. And from there, I got out of coaching. I said, all right, I'm tired. I want to go try, the real world. And went and worked for the governor of Illinois. But lo and behold, after about a couple years, Coach Stringer called me and said, "You want to get back into coaching?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I think I do." And she said, "I got a friend. She's looking for a coach, a female coach." And that was Marinelle Metters at Florida State University.
Wow.
So I coached with her for about 6 years. And it was an incredible experience. I learned a lot from Coach Metters. And after that, I said, I'm going to take another break. I'm going to go a different direction. I found that when I was coaching, I was more like a counselor too, not just only to the players, but for staff and other people. And I went back to college actually to get a master's degree in counseling. And from there I realized I think I might be good at doing, transformation coaching, but that was in the back of my brain. And so after that, I just began to help other people, like parents would say, "Hey, can you coach my daughter?" Or "Can you give me some tips on how to help my daughter?" So I've been doing that along the way.
Wow, I love that. So you had like really great example around you from some amazing coaches. So sure that rubbed off.
Oh,
sure.
yes, indeed.
Oh my gosh. So,
yes, indeed.
So do you feel like coaching is something that you've been called to, in a sense? I mean, that's the title of the show, and I'm just really interested to explore that topic. Is that something that you feel is a call, like, to answer for you?
And I would say now, looking back, hindsight is 2020. Yes, it was. I didn't know it, but I thank God for the middle school, the high school, and the college, and the college coaches that was steering me in that direction. I have a passion for it. Nothing gives me a greater passion than to see a young lady, start here and then they can go here because they say, "Hey, you can help me," and they're willing to be coached, because that's the other part. We play sports, so we know sometimes you're not willing to be coached.
That's true.
And,
that's hard.
So yeah, I know it's a calling, and I did not know that I was going to go in the direction of the transformation life coach until years later. Because my mindset is, we're the original coaches, you know, athletic coach, we're the original coach. What do you mean life coach? That's what we've been doing all these years. You know, each one of my coaches, you know, they would say to me, this is about life, it's not about basketball. This is not about basketball, this is about life. And so those life lessons that I learned applied in every area of my life.
Absolutely. I still remember to this day my high school coach, before every game we had our huddle, and he would say this phrase, and I was always like, what is he talking about? And he would always get ready to go in the huddle. Now, this is Coach Harris at Indian River, those who remember him. We would put our fists in the huddle together, and he would say, all right, you guys, the journey is the reward.
Wow.
And then we would go play. And as a kid, I would hear that. I'm like, I don't know what that means, you know.
Right. But the coach said say, and you did it anyway.
Yeah, and now I get it, you know what I mean? And so for sure, having those coaches in the area of sports, I think, like you said, it is almost like that was the original kind of coach to an extent, because it becomes about more than the sport.
Yeah.
And even now, it's still more. It's even more than just your business or whatever. It's your life,
exactly.
You know? And you're seeking out support for those things. So tell me about, let's say, the one life that comes to mind for you as a coach that makes you the most proud.
Wow, there's several.
But if there was one that you had to pick right now for today, right?
Right, today, I remember I was at Florida State University, and a young lady, incredible guard, and I would just, you know, I'm a praying woman, so I would pray for my players, you know, and I remember having this deep thought, almost like a insight, intuition, let's call it intuition, that she was not going to have a good practice. And I'm thinking, why would I even think that, right? But I went with it. And sure enough, she started off practice and it wasn't going well. You know, the attitude, don't want to do it. And then I kind of like had a flashback, like, oh, I had this intuition that she wasn't going to have a good practice. So I pulled her to the side and share with her what I had felt that morning. And she just started to cry. And she was like, back then I wasn't married, so it was Coach Glover. Yeah. She's like, Coach Glover, how did you know that? How did you know that? And you know, she just cried, and I just let her cry. Yeah. And had that moment. Got herself together and had the best practice.
Wow. Wow.
And I bring that one stands out because we have to be in tune to our players as coaches. I still consider myself a coach. We have to be in tune to the players. And I believe because when we are in tune to them, we might get those intuitions that'll say, hey, such and such might be having not a good day or a bad day. And don't ignore it, but move in that vein and see what happens. Especially today when players, whether it's basketball, any sport, you know, it's a lot of pressure. You know, it's a lot of pressure to play sports and academics, and your social life, and family life. So I would say, you know, to coaches out there, you know, be in tune to your players.
Now, when you connected with your athlete at that point, how did that feel for you? Because not only did you have the feeling, which, you know, but you acted on it. How many times we have the feeling we don't act, right? So you actually acted on it. How did that feel to actually see, like, wow, like that, you know, really touched you?
I mean, I was like, whoa, you know, wow. And it helped me to follow up on those intuition that I may have. And it didn't happen often, but when it did, I said, let me just follow up on this. You never know what may come of it. And I was like almost relieved, you know, I was like, wow, that was a close call, if you will, to be able to just move in what I felt that morning, and then actually like, wow, let me see if this is really going on. And sure enough it was. And so she had a much better day.
Wow. And then when you hit that, you know, you feel more confident to do it again.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, right.
You don't question yourself as much, so that's awesome.
Exactly.
So what do you feel is that gap? You know, what's the most frustrating aspect, I guess, about what you do as a coach?
So as an athletic coach back then, it was, you got 10, 15 players, depending on the type of program you have. is being there for all the players. And that's where the team concept comes in with the other coaching staff. If you have a coaching staff, because some programs might not have a, 2 or 3 coaches on their team. They may have to have one assistant coach or a graduate assistant coach, but more than like it's 2 people, right? The minimum is 2 people. That you work together as a team.
Okay.
We want our team to work together as a team, but coaches, we got to work together as a team too.
Yeah.
We come from diverse backgrounds and experience, but when we work together as a team, the players will see it and then they will do it. So as a transformation life coach, it's the same thing.
Really?
Okay. I don't have, it's me, but my husband has been a part of my life for 25 years. So I will consult with him on some things, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and he gives incredible advice. So he's part of my team. Also part of my team, some of my former students, if you will, that I can just talk to. Because I found that as a transformation life coach, the students who come through the program are like, they're family now. They're family. They're no longer a student coach, they're a family. And we still stay in contact with those. So I believe in having a team. If you're a business person, you need to have a team. No one does it by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So I totally believe, right, I can't do it by myself. I won't do it by myself. So I believe that you got to have a team. You get your business on your own, but you have a team of people that you can consult with.
Absolutely. It makes a huge difference to have that circle around you.
Yes.
So how would you describe your coaching style? I remember when I coached, because I used to coach high school, I did JV and then I assistant coach for varsity.
Wow.
And in that role, it just was interesting to but someone had told me this is, you have like a Phil Jackson kind of coaching style, which maybe it's because I'm just chill, but I would get, into it, but I wasn't like overly angry. I stay calm for the most part in my demeanor. But how would you describe your coaching style?
So when people see me, I have a calm demeanor, but when I coach, I'm totally different.
Wow.
I'm like all in, my heartbeat is racing. I like to pace, stand. When I was assistant coach, I couldn't do all that because my head coach did it. But when I had an opportunity to take a team to Europe, I'm all in. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm celebrating the players when they do it right, and then I'm correcting them when they do it wrong. So I'm a combination of all those things, but I'm in.
Wow.
I'm in to the end. The goal is to win. Right? It's to win. And I've learned from all of those experiences as a coach and a player. I think I shared it yesterday, it's no longer win and losses. So over the years, I've learned some things. It's win-win. And I got there from some of my coaches along the way. It's about win-win. Because when you focus on loss, you get down, you might get depressed, you're like, wow. And so I say to the coaches out there, it's win-win. And how is it a win-win when the column says L and you got less points? So my thing is, what was the reason that we got less points than the other team? And I don't focus that we lost the game. I understand, trust me. But for the players, I don't want them focused on the loss. How did we win today?
Wow.
And that just shifts everything. How did we win today? Coach, excuse me, are you on something? Are you smoking or something? Because we had the less point. We got the L in our record says win losses. I get that, but how did we win today?
Wow. So how does that translate into, let's say, that the life coaching aspect? How does that?
Because people come to me and they're stuck. They're stuck in some area, whether it's their finances or their career or performing or sales, anything along those lines. And to them, it's a failure. And what happens is most competent people are going to try to still figure it out until they say, you know what, I need help. All right, so let's get help. So they call me and say, hey, I need help in this particular area. And what I help them to see is because it is almost, we are in tune to lean towards the negative. Just life itself says negative, no, bad, wrong. And we're tending, so when I start off with a new client, I'll say, what's good about today? And most of them think long and hard. You know what? No. What's good about today? And it's a struggle. So that's a good indicator to me that what I have to teach, if they're willing to learn, is how to see life as win-win, not win-losses. And the more you can see win-win, You know, it builds your confidence, it improves your disposition, it helps you to do better, especially in sales, because sales, you know, it's like, I didn't get that sale, oh my God, you know, I gotta go, right. And so what happens is you're focusing on that no. So when you go to the next client, you may be thinking, don't say no, don't say no, don't. So the brain is going, no, 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 right. So that's how I incorporate that into working with my clients. That it's win-win.
Wow, that's amazing. And that same strategy, you guys, she led with teams. So if you want to do that with life, she's your person. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What do you feel like is the next in terms of your mission?
So with coaching, it allows me to do what I'm passionate about, working with one person at a time, renewing their mind and transforming their lives. It gives me the freedom to do another passion that I have, and that is helping individual in the community, which is a nonprofit that I'm working on right now with another business partner called Conversions Healthcare Solutions. And the first phase of the healthcare solution is providing services for those who have addictions. I've been working in that field as a licensed professional counselor in the state of Texas, Georgia, now in Florida for all those many years, over 18 years. And so what I've learned some things is we as a nation, we kind of ignore, you know, put our head in the sand. And here's the other passion, especially with athletes. I know the NBA last year came out with the mental wellness, format. The WNBA, I believe, is following suit with their recent CBA thing that they came up with. And so we are building a clinic. We're going to build a clinic in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
The goal is to have that done before the end of the year, so that we can open up a facility where people who have addiction, primarily substance, whether it's alcohol, drugs, you know, a variety of types, as well as opiate addiction, which is large in the world, you know, in the nation, but also in the world too.
Wow.
So that's my passion. So coaching allows me to do that. That's my second passion. So I'll be doing that as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Awesome. Well, congratulations for that. And thank you for hanging out with me.
Yes.
This was such an honor. So I have one last question to ask you though. I believe in simplicity. So if you were to leave with our audience who's listening with one word coming from Freda Doxey, what would that one word be that you feel would...
one word, not two
One
words.
word, just one word. What's the one word?
So the one word would be ask.
Ask. Okay.
Ask.
Why is that?
Now I get more words. I like that. So ask, and the second word would have been ask, or two words, ask for help.
Okay.
Right. Unfortunately, like I said, we are competent individuals, and we take too long to ask for help. We take too long. Competent means I know how to do it, I've done it before, I can figure this out, I can figure this out, I can figure this out, and you find yourself like a mouse in a maze, and you still haven't figured it out. So ask for help. It's a skill that I taught my girls, my two daughters. It's a skill that I teach even my clients. Ask for help. And I say ask, you need a coach. We know the benefits of having a coach.
Oh, yes.
I'm a coach, right?
Yeah.
So the coach will help you when she asks for help.
That's amazing. That's powerful, you guys. So thank you guys for hanging out with me.
Yes.
This is the Call to Coach. Hopefully, guys, you felt the energy and excitement and passion from this amazing individual. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.